everybody. This is Chaka, and I'm coming to you with some book reviews on that I've been reading for the last couple of months. Our book club, Well Read, we read in the month of April um, the sequel to A Coldest Winter Ever, and it's called Life After Death. I was very disappointed in the book. I really didn't want to do a review because I just didn't feel like it gave anything worth me actually discussing. So I don't want to be completely and utterly cruel, but the the title actually kind of was befitting. It was basically her in purgatory. Um, Winter got out of prison. I understand waiting the 20 years before getting a sequel together, but I really felt like Sister Soldier kind of did us a disservice. She should have actually, I don't know, she should have gave it a little bit more effort. I think writing it, explaining that, she'd spent her time in jail and all of that was great. But what annoyed me was, unless you are like, I know a lot of people who are very religious, and because I went to Catholic school, I understand the mindset of purgatory, and that's just what this was. The book was basically her in purgatory trying to figure out where she's going to heaven or hell. And throughout the book, it just wasn't, it was worth, the title is great. It explains why they titled it that. But I have an issue with you forcing your religion on me, especially in a book. It's just not fun. It wasn't a good read. I read the first two chapters three times because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Um, she's going throughout this whole book trying to basically figure out who killed her and why she's in the state in which she's in. So I only got to maybe about chapter 15, 16. It got so choppy, it got so annoying to the back and forth, the struggle where she's still, I understand, and I'm gonna say this because I've worked for lawyers. I've worked, one of my first externships was in a criminal defense attorney's office. So I do understand when you come home from prison, you're still in the mindset you were when you went. So if you went when you were 17, 18 years old, you still have that mindset, even if it's 20 years later. But you didn't what? Pick up a book, do anything in prison. You just went through life still thinking that, oh, Santiago's daughter and shit is supposed to be handed to me on a platter. To me, I couldn't deal with that. So that was one of my issues with the book. I really did like it at one point though, that, it did give a little synopsis of her family. And it did say that her dad was still alive. I kind of like that. I just, like I said, the back and forth and your political views and your religious views shouldn't be rammed down my throat. So I just didn't like the book. Winter's still stuck in her 16, 17-year-old stupid self. She ain't learned shit. That was annoying in itself. And even in death, she still was. Uh, so, it is what it is. So that's that. Um, I don't even think I can say anything else. I mean, mostly everybody in our book club, I'm sorry for the shaking. Everybody in our book club kind of felt the same way. Like, you know, it was hard to read, it was hard to pay attention to. This was one of them. I had this many books in a book deal, and this is my last one. Let me throw this out there so I can get rid of this uh, contract. I really was underwhelmed. And I think maybe more or less because I hyped myself up for the book. I loved A Coldest Winter Ever. Read it when I was grown. So it wasn't like, oh, I was a 16-year-old reading in the eyes of actually a lot of teachers um, that I knew at the time was reading it. And then a couple of people at my job, and I went and bought it on my lunch hour and I read it in a day. And that's not hard. One, for me, I'm a reader. I love reading, but if it's interesting, I'm not putting it down. I will forego sleeping just to finish a book. I was very, very saddened that this is what I waited for. So anyway, that was Life After Death by Sister Souljah. You know, I'm sorry if you read it and you liked it. Tell me what you liked about it that maybe I missed. Maybe I should have listened beyond those few chapters I read. But, you know, this is me signing off. Your 40s are the bottle drinks. Talk to y'all later.